Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong, welcome to the Back Office Teardown Lab. You can see I'm about to create something amazing. I've got so many parts here. When I was a kid, I used to watch a TV show called Knightmare, and it involved a group of contestants walking around a maze wearing nothing but a sort of helmet that obscured their vision, whilst that's one of them, and then the other three would sit behind in the sort of dungeony thing and then shout out instructions like go forward, go left, go right. Well, I'm going to attempt to recreate a Knightmare hat using this builder's hat. Okay, you'd have to wear a blindfold, but it's a high-tech solution. It's going to have an actual Wi-Fi video camera, GPS, action GoPro type thing on the front. It's going to have ultrasonic sensors dotted around, and then I'm going to sort of just attempt probably to sort of wander around my house or various locations and see if I can avoid things. Perhaps I think in the future this could be a really interesting sort of e-sport. The people wear these things and just run around completely blinded literally they just get blinded and have to navigate a maze like a mouse, like a blind little mouse, just using these extra sensors. So let's get cracking. It's going to be very easy. We're going to mount this thing, that's not a problem. We're going to use one of these standard ultrasonic car systems, so they really have all these bits and pieces, but let's start with the noisy stuff and get all that out of the way because it's dirty, and then we'll just start doing with electronics. Excuse the noise. So I'm going to take this cutter, the same sort of cutter you'd use if you're doing it in your car, and we're basically going to cut holes in this helmet. And there is a sort of risk in a way, because you're doing it with a helmet, that you've got the risk that you're going to actually mess it up because the ultrasonic sensors might be pointing up. Because if you look at a helmet, because of the curves, you've got to be a little bit careful of that. But we're going to have a go. Let's see what we can do. Contestants were allowed to move forwards, backwards, left and right. I don't think they were allowed to move diagonally, although I can't be sure on that. We'll have sensing in all of the non-diagonal directions, so that should be okay. We need an on-off switch. I've got this nice big toggle switch. Just going to drill the hole for that. It's going to be really easy because it's a 12-volt system from a car. We're going to power it using a 9-volt battery, so that should do the trick for us. Okay. The last hole is going to be the mount for our camera. We might want to use this kit again on an actual car. Smear it everywhere. So while the hot glue is being hot, let's look at the actual sensor box itself. So we've got our power and we've got our battery, so we're going to have to hook the power in. I've lost the power lead for this, so I'm going to have to do something manually. Positive there. I'll just zoom in case you've got one of these kits. They're pretty standard, you'll find them on the internet. So that's that. Let's pop the lid back on. We don't need to go in here. Our wires are nicely pinched. Crunch, crunch, crunch. So these two go to our switch, and we're done on that side. So let's get the switch hooked up. Ooh, we're almost starting to have to get to the point where we're going to mount this if we're already sort of wiring in the switch. So I'm just going to see if there's a chance, if we actually fitted this now, would we be able to get its connectors on? Yeah, sort of. It'd be better if we kind of put it at an angle. So before we do that, we might as well have a look, see how we're going to fit our sensors. So here's one of them. So we're going to have to feed this whole load of wire through. If I'm lucky, I can probably get the whole bundle through in one go. And then look at that. That is luck. That is real luck. So it's almost a bit like a bat, this hat, isn't it? It's using like echolocation to find your way, navigate your way around your environment. Bats, of course, have fancy hearing systems in their pinna so they can actually direct the sound around, or at least direct their attention in various places so they can sort of hear different things. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So hook up the sensors. 1, 2. Oof. 3 and 4. Power's going to be a bit more tricky because I have to solder something in. Let's get the speaker, and the speaker's got a really mammoth wire. That's going to take some jamming. Get in there. So it's in essence, it's all in there. Let's solder the last switch connection. Oh, it stinks. Forgot to tin the end of the wire. So hot, it's taken a long time to cool down. It's better. So we've got our battery. Turn that off. Lost a sensor already. Test fit. Yeah. I think this will work out. I think this will work out. Of course, you can do things to fix all the innards, like glue them in, but I think I'm going to just test this proof of concept, and if it all works out, I'm going to come back and tidy that all up. But we're doing a bit of science here. We don't want perfect right away. We're just doing an experiment. Great success! It's worth putting the camera on. So I've just done an initial test, it's fine. This is a bit loud, so I'm going to do something to silence it. And it came with this sticker to stick it to the side of your car. So what I'm going to do is just stick the sticker over the actual sound hole so it's not so deafening. Just stick it right there. Get in there. Time to take it for a test run. Here we go. So I've had my first play with the hat around the house. I can tell you something that's really annoying. So if this is you and you're wearing the hat and you're pointing this way, it's great, you're walking around, but let's say for example there's a doorway here. You're walking forward straight through the doorway, and what happens? Once you get to here, you've got your 4 sensors here. Once you get to here, your sensors are bouncing off and it's going beep, and you don't know if it's something in front of you because you're still moving forward, but then you hear the beep. So really what I reckon is best configuration is actually just to only have the front sensor, because that way you can actually just turn around. So you can sort of scan your environment. So if you can imagine that you've got objects within your environment here, as you're moving through, if you've got your single sensor going, you can kind of scan and you will hear the different objects basically, depending when you're pointing. So if you're pointing towards this object, you're going to hear that tone. If you're pointing to this one, you'll hear that long tone, and if you're really close, you're going to hear this sharp tone. So that actually gives you ability to steer. So I'm going to disable the other 3 sensors and just only have the front sensor, and then have another quick play with that. That's the front sensor. Yeah. Not so sure on the efficacy, but it does kind of work. Watch, I can see the camera there now, right? Okay. Nothing. Starting to see you. Now turn around. Nothing. So if you were really patient and moved a little bit at a time. I reckon the camera's dead there. Oh, near enough. Nothing much. Oh, nothing much it seems in this direction. Side step. Side step. Oh, door frame. Clearing the door frame. Clearing the door frame. Camera! Feels very free to click subscribe, leave comments down below. And as ever, thanks for watching.